Heaven's California.
Hey guys, today I'm reacting to a Mr. Nightmare video. I keep getting them mixed up. Okay, 3 scary stories that happened while quarantining. I saw this yesterday and I was actually so excited to react to it. That works a little bit. We'll do that. This should be a good video. If it's like anything I've heard in the past, like some of the more videos, I want to be pissed. I want to be heated again. That's exactly what I need. My hair's wacky all over again. Let's go. Anonymous. Okay. Oh, I'm ready for this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for this. Okay, I'm just fell.
With all this quarantining madness going on because of COVID-19, my family and I have fled New York State to our Massachusetts lake house to avoid contact with other people. The lake, which I will not name for safety reasons, has a bunch of houses surrounding it, and in the summer months, it's full of boats and people barbecuing and drinking.
Okay.
Right now, in late March when I'm writing this, it's kind of a ghost town here, and it's weird seeing it like this here. Anyway, I wouldn't be here writing this if something didn't go wrong, right? My younger brothers, we'll call Steve and Glenn, were out on the deck overlooking the lake with me.
Okay.
We were setting up the table for a game of beer pong, which we invited our dad to play with us so the teams would be even. The sky had reached that point after sunset where most of the sky was dark, but there was still that hint of orange on the horizon. The lake was calm and
so
quiet,
pretty.
not a single boat, and all the neighboring houses seemed to be vacant. We were truly the only ones around, still. Our deck has a fire pit, so we lit that for extra light as well as heat because it was chilly. The 4 of us were playing a game of beer pong, when in the middle of it, Glenn grabbed his phone and lowered the music to his portable speaker. He and Steve turned around to look over the deck to the grass below. My dad and I went over to see what they were looking at. Glenn said he heard something below us. He could see someone walk under the deck. The deck doesn't have a stairway leading down. You have to go inside and downstairs to get down there.
Okay.
My dad and I went downstairs and out the back door under the deck. There was nobody there. My dad called out a bunch of times to confirm this, and we went back upstairs. The thing is, Steve swore by it as well that he also heard someone speaking from under the deck. Regardless, we cut the game of beer pong short and went inside, making sure to lock the door.
Good.
My mom and dad were up in their loft bedroom, while I was in the living room playing PlayStation.
Okay.
That's when it started. Loud, aggressive bangs on the sliding door. Accompanied with the bangs was a man's shrieks and screams. Sounded like he was screaming for help. The curtain to the door was shut, so I couldn't see who it was.
Good, the curtains were shut. Good. That's surprising.
Because my brothers and parents came rushing to the living room.
Surprising.
My dad yanked the curtain open to find himself face to face with some red-in-the-face man banging his fist on the glass, begging to be let in. He was claiming he was hurt and needed help. My dad asked, "Where are you hurt?" He didn't answer that, though.
Exactly.
He just kept repeating, "Let me in, I'm hurt."
No, you're not.
My dad then yelled to get out of here before we'd call the cops. He yanked the blinds shut and told us all to shut and lock our windows if they were open.
They shouldn't be open anyway. Ever.
Hours, just to be safe.
Especially because it's cold out.
We had a movie on in the background as we talked. But eventually, with no other uninvited visitors outside, we all split off into our respective rooms for the night. I was browsing YouTube videos in my bed when it happened.
I will not. Oh shit.
The crash of shattering glass so loud it made me jump out of my bed. My heart instantly started racing. I didn't know if I was the only one who heard it because I didn't hear my parents or brothers running out of their rooms.
Shit.
I picked up the phone and called my dad's cell. He picked up and whispered he heard it too.
Call the cops
stay
now.
in my room and lock the door.
Call the cops.
I reminded him my door didn't have a lock.
Shit.
Of course, my room, while the biggest of my brothers, was the one room that didn't have a lock. He told me to hide in the closet and call my brothers while he called the cops.
Okay. I was going to say someone call the cops.
Outside my room in the living room area. I tiptoed to my closet and did my best to quietly open and close the door.
Okay.
The damn hinges just had to squeak. I sat behind a big plastic bag and texted my brothers, who also heard the noise and each locked their doors. It was the most tense moment of my life in that closet. The bedroom door opened, and I could see through the strips in the closet door someone walk to my bed and sit at the edge of it. He then took off one of his shoes and started shaking it as if to get something out of his shoe. He put his shoe back on, then his head actually turned to look at the closet door. I felt as though he was looking at me. There was just this silence for the longest time, until he finally spoke, saying, "I know you're in there. I'm sure your family already called the cops. I'm not sure what my next course of action should be."
I don't know either.
At that moment, I had to decide whether to stay in there or make a break for the door, and I chose the second option. I burst through the closet door, screaming as some kind of adrenaline boost. I made it to the door, expecting him to lunge for me and grab me, but he didn't. I ran up to my parents' loft and banged on the door. My dad opened it and let me in. I waited with them until the cops entered through the freshly broken back door. Then we left the room to meet them. The man who was sitting on my bed was no longer in the house. We checked every closet, under every bed, every little crevice of the house. The cops recommended we tape a bunch of garbage bags over the door and shut the curtain, and also that we stay awake for the night. My dad stayed in the living room the whole night, and first thing in the morning, he ran to Home Depot to buy a glass pane to fix the door. We're still actively quarantining in this house a week later. I'll send updates if the man returns.
Oh my god, they're still there to booted it right back to my freaking house after that. The day after, okay, I'm leaving. I said, bye, I'm out of here. Shit, that was intense. But it's like the guy didn't even care. He's like, oh.
I've been staying in my apartment in Jersey City during this coronavirus epidemic. My roommate has since gone home to Ohio to stay with her family during all of this. So I've been in the apartment alone.
Of course you have.
I've been mostly just watching new movies and shows. I try not to go out too much because my city is pretty bad right now. A couple days ago, I was running extremely low on food, so I had to make a mandatory grocery run. I went to the nearby Trader Joe's wearing a mask and gloves, which, including the insane line and limited stock, turned out to be a production. On my walk home in the dark, I realized the streets were even quieter than they were the last time I went shopping, just a week before.
Good, I mean. Good.
Suddenly, out from an alleyway, some guy wearing a mask and gloves approached me. He had a baby wrapped in a hoodie and small blanket in his hands. He seemed very sincere in asking me to let him take his son to my apartment real quick so he could change his diaper and feed him his food. He swore to me that he was clean, and that he really needed this favor for just 5 minutes. That it was an emergency.
I don't know.
Hearing the baby's little cries, and the fact that this man even had a child with him and just seemed sincere, the soft part of me agreed. I led him to my apartment building. It was only a short walk from there.
Oh, and that was a big mistake
He walked up the 3
considering the
stories to my
story.
apartment, and I let him inside, asking him to close the door behind him. I cleared a spot on the living room table for him to change his child's diaper.
You stayed there, right? Like watched it,
When I
right?
turned around, the man was like pacing around, or more like snooping around, I guess. He went into my kitchen to do God knows what.
Pardon
I
me?
called over to him that I set up the table for him to use. He didn't answer. I started getting confused.
Kill him.
I walked to the kitchen and saw him looking around suspiciously. And what else I saw confused me. The man was standing with what I thought was his child, held in only one hand. It took me a second to understand.
It was a doll?
It wasn't a child. It was just some baby doll wrapped up in a blanket. I'm assuming one of those realistic ones that make the crying and moaning noises. The man looked at me and pulled out a gun from his right pocket.
Oh my god.
That's where things went from 1 to 100 real quick.
Holy crap.
He looked at me with a gun aimed at me and said something along the lines of, "I'm gonna take what I want and you're gonna stay in my sight." Of course, I had to say okay with a gun aimed at my head. I wondered if it could be a BB gun with a tip painted black, but even if it was, I doubted I could overpower him.
You don't want to test it. Yeah, don't risk
The
it.
man pulled out a big black bag from his backpack and filled it with valuables, including my wallet, some of my roommate's jewelry, kitchen valuables, my brother's Xbox, which he lent me, and my iPad.
Oh shit.
It was sickening to watch, but I was the most scared of him pulling the trigger of that gun. He filled his bag and threw the fake baby in it as well. Then he left. I called the cops first thing. They came and helped me in contacting the building owner to see the CCTV footage from the halls.
True.
Of course, upon seeing the footage, it didn't help much. The man's face was covered by
Oh,
a mask, making
yeah,
it
true.
near impossible to even discover who he was.
True.
All I can do is urge everyone to be careful, not to trust anyone, and stay indoors until all of this is over.
Crap, man. Shit. It's people like him. That's why you don't want to help real people in need. You know what I mean?
The
It's
past
that
month,
bitch right
I've been
there.
quarantining in my apartment alone with minimal outside contact because of the virus. My apartment is the downstairs floor of a two-family house.
Mm-hmm.
The upstairs occupant isn't the landlord. He's just another tenant. I'm actually decently acquainted with the guy. His name's Rico.
Okay.
To be honest, he's a bit odd, though. Of course, I hadn't seen Rico because I've been quarantining. I do still have to wake up early in the morning, though, for work, which I report to on my laptop now. A week ago, Rico started making a lot of noise one night. Late night, actually. I was in bed. It was like past 12. I had to be up early. And all of a sudden, I just start hearing constant thumping noises coming from the upstairs level of the house.
Can you shut up? I'm trying to sleep.
It sounded like Rico was stomping around in boots or something. I waited for it to hopefully end eventually, but it just kept going on and on and on.
Oh my god, shut up.
Over 20 minutes of the stomping. I was so frustrated that I got up to knock on his door outside.
After 5 minutes, I would have
I
been
knocked
like,
a few times loud enough for him to hear. He never answered. I gave up and went back to my room, though.
Thankfully,
Thankfully, the noise had stopped. I wasn't sure if he heard my knocks and stopped because of that or what.
no,
I
he probably
didn't
didn't.
care much. I fell into a deep sleep for some time, till I awoke in my dark bedroom. The clock read 2:30 something. I didn't know what exactly woke me up at first.
I think 2 hours later,
I
only.
realized it must have been the fact that the room was cold. I realized my window on the opposite side of the room was open about a foot. I knew for a fact I did not do that. I got up and quietly shut it, looking around my room paranoid.
Was it not locked?
I checked under my bed and in the closet. No one there. It's not like anyone could fit through that opening in the window, but someone actually went out of their way to open that.
Exactly.
That terrified me.
Well, if it was
I
unlocked,
did a
then
scope of the place with all the lights on, and I could confirm there was nobody hiding inside.
for now.
So I went back to bed with one eye open. Then the noises upstairs started again. Thumping and stomping. I couldn't take this anymore. It almost sounded like he was hitting the floor with a hammer or something. I went up to his door again and pounded on it, yelling his name as well. Once again, no answer. I went back inside and grabbed my phone and dug deep for Rico's number. I didn't have it saved. It was buried in my text conversations somewhere. When I found it, I called him. He didn't pick up the first time or the second, but on the third time, he picked up sounding confused and like he had just been woken up.
Uh-oh.
I said in a rather annoyed tone that he needed to stop making the constant noises.
Oh, crap.
He asked what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I
shit.
explained the thumping noises. Then he dropped the bomb, told me, "Jared, I'm not in my apartment. I went home to stay with my family a week ago. Call the cops." It suddenly made a lot more sense, and I realized the noises had stopped ever since I went back to the door. I hung up before saying another word and dialed
Oh my
911,
god.
not
Shit.
wasting a second. As I was on the phone talking to the police operator, I heard it clicking in my bedroom window. Someone was outside trying to lift open the window, which I had just locked earlier. I screamed as I realized it, and then yelled at the operator to hurry with the police. She said they were on their way, and asked me to describe the man. But I couldn't.
Psychopath.
It was too dark.
That's what he is.
He seemed to hear my conversation, I would guess, and walked away from the window. 4 police officers showed up. I led them to the upstairs apartment, where the door was unlocked. I walked in behind the officers, and not much searching needed to be done. There was a man with long graying hair down to his shoulders, who was sitting on the couch, looking up at the ceiling, seemingly laughing. When the officers approached him to arrest him, the man focused in on me, still laughing.
Oh,
He
crap.
started to point at me, and that's when I had to leave because I was too freaked out.
Oh, I'd be terrified. Like,
I
shit.
waited until the man was in one of the police cars before talking to the officers again. I locked Rico's door, and the cops just told me to keep a good eye on the place for the time being. Rico came back the following day to assess what was stolen. He has been staying upstairs since.
Yeah, that was a really good video. A lot better than I expected it to be. I'm actually kind of sad that it's over now, but shit. Okay, all I can say to like start off is be the hell careful and aware, because like a lot of stuff can happen during quarantine. Like when there's a virus going on, like people take advantage of it. Like that first guy did, that asshole. Like even me, like when he was saying the story about the whole kid, and I need to change his diaper, and because he was the only one there on the road, I don't know if I would. Like, so I'm nice, but I'm not nice. Like, I'm a total biatch, but I'm a total not biatch. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm nice, but I'm not nice, okay? I can be both, obviously. It all depends on the scenario and the situation. I don't know what the hell's going on, but shit, that... All I can say is be careful, like, when you're self-quarantining, especially if you're alone, be aware of your surroundings, please. Because just because you're in quarantine, you might think, oh yeah, no one's gonna break it down. Like, even, I was thinking the same thing. I was kind of thinking, yeah, and now no one's really outside much, no one's gonna break in my house, or no one's gonna attempt to do anything. Knock on wood. Yeah, but apparently I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. Apparently I'm very wrong. Wow. Like, yesterday I went shopping with my mom. Like, I never went inside because I don't like going inside anymore. I don't feel safe going into stores anymore. I do have a mask on me, but I wear it for walks, and I wear it if I go inside, but I don't really want to go inside the store. Despite all the safety measures, like, despite only a certain amount of people inside at one time, you have to, your car gets washed after each per person, you know? And there's a lineup outside the store yesterday too. It was insane. And I was like the first, like, I've never seen anything like this before. I'm only 20 years old, and like this is the first time I've seen anything like this. Like, any kind of like all like craze and all this like safety measures being put in place. You know, it's scary. I don't know about you guys, but it's scary. But that's off topic. But anyway, yeah. I mean, like, if you go to the store, just be careful. Like, you never know. That, like, when the guy said he had a gun, I was like, shit. Like, I had goosebumps. Like, I'm already kind of cold just because I'm a bit cold, but just during the whole video I had like shivers, and I was like, shit, like, that was a really good video. And I cannot wait to see Gator Martin's reaction. I saw that he already did it, but I couldn't react or like watch his video until I reacted to it myself, obviously. So again, be safe, stay home. Please lock your windows and doors as if they should be open anyway. Like, even for me, this is never open. The only time that you're not gonna be able to see anything anyways. The only time my window's open is like in the daytime. I'm on the second floor. Like, again, you can't see above, but it's like it's high up, obviously, so you can't. I mean, unless one friend climbs on the roof somehow, but it's not likely. But still, I have that covered. There's no curtain there, so I have a shirt blocking it, and I've had it there for like months now. So I always have something like blocking the window, especially at nighttime, just because like that's sus. Like, I don't know, no. Like, if it was open, I could just imagine, like, if it was nothing there, I probably would have been apeshit. Like, I would have gone nuts. Like, plus I wouldn't be able to sleep anyway, given the morning that it's all bright and stuff. But okay, that got way off topic again. Stay safe, stay home. Only go out for walks if you really have to. Like, I go for a walk every day with my family. Maybe it's 2 walks. I gotta wear a mask, we social distance, obviously, or physical distancing and stuff. So yeah, everybody just be careful, because like I never expected all this shit to happen, like, from these stories. So just be careful, because I never apparently realized what could happen, especially during quarantine. Maybe more sus stuff goes on. Apparently I thought none, but apparently more happens. So be careful, stay safe, and that's all I can really say. Because yeah, this has just been like, I remember hearing on the news months ago, like when I was in college, on my first semester of college. Now I'm done in like 3 days. I have 3 exams in the next 3 days, and then I'm done. Like, I was even kind of thinking, like, during those months, like, coronavirus, like, it was not that much on the news yet. I never expected it for Canada to have like 23,000 cases like we do now, 24,000, which is not much compared to many other countries, but especially the US. The US is an insane amount. Like, they're skyrocketing like crazy, I've seen. So yeah, I mean, just be careful, just stay safe. I see on my stats that a lot of people that watch are from the US. So if you're in the US, stay inside, because like I could not imagine, like, even I'm already panicking being in Canada. So if you're in the US, then definitely be like extra cautious with everything, because they're gonna have an insane amount of cases. Like, I keep track of it every single day, all day. Like, you don't even know. Oh, I have another notification. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay, wait. Is this a mark or something? No, it's not a mark. Okay. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you guys have any of your quarantine stories. I don't have any as of right now. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. I didn't have anybody talking to me or anything. No. Nothing sus from what I remember, but hopefully it stays that way. But you know, you never know. I hate this channel. You didn't fucking do one. Okay, bye guys.